It's not the color, the race issue. I just think that the intimidation factor that he's talking about and that you're talking about is money. And it's always an issue. If your mate makes more, I would be intimidated if my wife made more than me.
Why?
But
is that our problem? That's not my problem.
I'm not saying that I have a reason why. I'm just saying that it's an issue. But I'm also saying that I don't think that white men really want to date black women as much as black women want to date white men either. And I love my white wife right here.
Your white wife? Talking about how hard it is for most black women to find a good black man. And I want to ask you guys something. When you just saw that montage of couples there, interracial couples, black men with white women, what were your reactions? Anybody have any gut reactions? Come on, straight from the gut here. Straight from the gut. Come on, stand up.
Purely financial.
Purely financial, you think? Who else? Back here. What do you say? What do you say? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get my exercise today. There you go.
Every time someone's in the spotlight, like a black man, you always see him with a white woman. That's the main thing. You don't see him with a black. It's like, and some of them make comments, no, I don't like black women. I prefer white women. And it doesn't make no sense. It really does. These are the so-called good black men.
Yeah, but yet
I don't think it matters whether you're white or black. I don't think it matters as long as you're in love.
Doesn't bother you. Doesn't bother you either?
Doesn't bother me at all. I'm going to date who I want to date, whether she's black, white, Spanish, Mexican.
What do you ladies
But
think?
you know what, Carol? I was just going to say, I don't have the what happens to be quite often the reaction most sisters have, and that is they're a little bit angry when they see black men who are successful with white women. I don't go there. I don't have that emotion. I'll tell you what emotion I do have, though. I'm just sitting here this evening, and I'm looking at this panel, and I'm thinking, here is a row, you included, of sharp sisters. Why are we spending some of the best years of our lives by ourselves?
All single.
By choice for me.
By choice. What do you say?
I'll tell you, quite frankly, it's easier to meet a white woman or sometimes Hispanic women because black women have so much attitude when you're out or you walk.
Energy. Now, what do you mean by that? Let the whole row. Whoa. Come on, come on, come on,
We hear that all the time. Black women have too much attitude. That's just me. That's just how I am. I know plenty white girls with attitude, let me tell you. That has nothing to do with it. It's about a cultural expression. Just because I roll my head or roll my eyes, whatever, that's confidence. I have confidence in myself, and I'd like to be heard, and I'm going to let you know where I stand. That has nothing to do with it. So that's a cop-out, because if you're too intimidated by me doing this or doing whatever like that, then that's on you. You need to check yourself. Have the confidence enough to step to me regardless.
If you're a confident person, if you're a successful person, why should you have to go through all the hassle? You know, you could date other people. There's no need for that.
Wait a minute.
Okay, go through the hassle. It's not it should not be a hassle. I mean, we're here for one another, and quite frankly, I think that a lot of black men have bought into what the system tells us about black women. I think that a lot of black men hold us responsible for being what we've had to be throughout the years, with not having you there as father figures and having to be the mother and the father to our children. And a lot of the other issues that go along that make us the strong black women that we are. And you guys use that against us, and it's not fair.
And why should we apologize for being strong black women?
What the problem is, my brother, you just can't handle it. That's it. You can't handle it.
Oh, wait, I wanted to say something. Excuse me. I wanted to say something to the young man that stood up and made a comment right here behind him. Yes. That made a comment that was really, really key. In interracial dating, you will see a black man with a white woman. However, what did you say? You very rarely see a white man wanting to date a black woman. What's wrong with this picture?
But she gets dates.
I'm from the
She
Midwest.
gets dates.
You
Jeanette
said not
gets dates.
No, I'm saying.
Jeanette's
wait a
got
minute.
dates.
How many white men in here would want to date a sister? How many white men in here could deal with that attitude that this brother was talking about? This energy, this power, however you want to call it.
She disagrees.
I disagree because I've dated, I'm a multi-dimensional person, and I've dated outside of my race, and it's been, I'd say, a good 6-7 years since I've dated a brother, and I've been dating outside my race. And they've been dating me.
Is that because it's hard for you to find someone, or is what? Why?
It's just our compatibility.
Have you had long-term relationships with these men? Or were you something to be desired, something to say,
No, I broke it off with them.
maybe I should try this?
No, I broke it off with them.
You know, because a lot of times, in my experience now, you know...
But you said you didn't date
in my experience, I did tell, what's her name in the back?
Okay.
Patricia in the back, that when I was about 17, 18 years old, I did date a white boy, okay? I hate to say that. I'm sorry I said that. But anyway, we're being frank, okay? I did date a white boy, man, guy. But, and through that experience, no, seriously, through that experience was not a pleasurable experience to me, and that wasn't what tainted me. It was just, you know, that attitude, that sapphireness, that energy, my tradition, my culture. I'm conditioned to know more about their culture than they are conditioned to know about my culture. Take the time to get to know me and my culture and my tradition. Do they want to do that? I don't think so.
We've heard black women talking about why they're opposed to interracial dating, and we've heard from the white women who tell us why they think there's nothing wrong with it. Now let's meet the men who date these women and find out why black men date outside their race. Come on out, guys. Everyone. Ira says that if he had a choice, he would be with a black woman. But he fell in love with Ari, a light-skinned Hispanic woman, and he will never leave her. Wilbert says he and Pamela are a living example of what Martin Luther King preached. And Antoine says that despite the myth that when black men get rich, they choose white women, Rachel loves him rich or poor. Welcome, gentlemen. Why did you fall in love with Ari?
Well, Ari and I had a lot of things, you know, that were in common in terms of being athletic, being likes to dance. I mean, she was a woman that just, you know, we just clicked. It wasn't my choice to get involved with somebody outside of my race, because if I could have picked an ideal world, maybe I would have been with a black woman. However, you know, it just wasn't like that. Ari is beautiful. She's everything I wanted in a woman, and, you know, it's the best thing for me. I'm so happy with her.
When I met Rachel, it was like, you know, we was friends at first, and then we got to know each other, and then it just turned into more than a friendship.
You sold out. Did you think about the problems that it might cause?
So how can I say it right?
You sold out against your own life. You sold out.
Trip, if I wasn't going with her, I still wouldn't go with you.
Yes, you want to say?
I have a question for, I'm sorry, what's your name, ma'am?
Kamika.
Kamika, I have a question for you. I actually have an answer for you. I just wanted to clarify your question. You said that if Rachel and Antoine were to get in a fight and she were to call him, excuse my language, I don't use this ever, I'm sorry, Mom, if you're on TV, that she would call him a nigger and he would call her a white girl. 1, we're Jewish home. 2, that's my sister. And 3, if we said nigger in our house, we'd be smacked against the wall.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good. I hope that happens across the board. But normally it does not.
Antoine, how do black women treat your girlfriend when you're out with her?
They don't, I mean, we never go through prejudice. Because where I'm from is like accepted.
Where are you from?
I'm from LA.
Are you?
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry they beat Rodney King. Black guys give bitches something, they run off and get a white girl. Why? Why y'all run off and get a white girl?
I got a comment along those lines.
You always do that. Let's get Wilbert. Wait a minute. I'm not racist. I didn't say that I was racist.
I didn't say racist. I said I'm not rich.
Wait a minute. Let me quote one thing. I did not say that I was racist. I like white people and stuff like that. I'm just saying that I feel you bringing our black people down by selling out to a white girl. You going with a white girl, and there's many people out here that they feel that. Wait a minute. Yes, I understand they feel that. I'm saying that's cool and all that, but I'm saying I'm still against that. You going with a white girl when there's beautiful black women out here that'll treat you the same way as she would. What kind of food?
You wasn't at the club that I was at.
Okay. I'm saying we go to you met at
when I was done partying that night.
Excuse me. I want to get to Wilbert. Wilbert hasn't said anything. How do you feel about black society treating you differently because of your white girlfriend?
Well, most of them, they treat me wrong sometimes. You know, when we go out, black women look at us and whisper and stuff.
Good.
I don't pay that no attention.
I want to ask you all, would you ever, or have you ever in your past dated a white guy?
No, we're not down with the swirl. No.
And is it different, a white man dating a black woman? Is that different than a black woman dating a white man?
It's both ways, but it's even worse when an African woman would marry or date a Caucasian man because they raped us for 400 years.
Yes, yes.
You know? Can I jump in here?
Yes. What do you think of your sisters saying these things?
The only comment I have, we don't have white blood. We don't have red blood. We don't have black blood. We're all one. God created us as one. And you're being very ethnocentric. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'd just like to say that I come from an interracial marriage. My parents, my mom's full Japanese, I'm half Japanese, and the rest is from all over the place. But I just want to say that, Kamika, you said that I would have a problem learning my culture. And I never had a problem because it was up to my parents to teach me my culture. You're segregating yourself. You're segregating yourself less from the American culture because you are all American. You're segregating yourself. Don't think of yourself as different from me because of how my parents raised me. I think of you as equal as me.
Slavery is different. You can educate me. When you fill out an application and they ask for your race, what do you put? Yes. People always ask that. What do you put?
What do you put? Do you put biracial?
I'm Caucasian.
You put Caucasian. So you choose the master race? What?
Why do we have to label people?
I don't know why. Why does America label people? Why do they determine your race or your sex before you buy out? Excuse me, baby. Can you just be quiet?
You all started the slavery. You're white people started the slavery.
Thank you very much.
Pamela,
it's all right. You have your man. Yes. Why is it then that America makes us fill out these applications when we buy a house, when we buy a car, when we try to get jobs? If it were not important to the quote-unquote governing body. I'm not saying it's the correct way to be, but it's the way it is.
Yes.
Now, regardless of the fact that the way that we stop racism is to understand who we are as people.
Yes, yes.
Okay, but the only way we can do that is you've got to start with that little child. That little child that you raise, whether you're going to raise that child as an oppressed individual, if she's an ethnic, from an ethnic group, or raise that child to know that she was a queen. Unless she has a queen raising her, she'll never know.
That's true.
We agree. Okay, what do you want to say?
You just said you don't label people. In the beginning of the show, you label people as our black men. They're not your black men. They are their mother's men. All right?
Respond quickly. Wait. I want to answer that question quickly, Lisa.
They're my black men. I have brothers. They're mine. I have a father. That's mine. I have a grandfather. That's mine. It's my black men.
Yes. Wait a minute. All right, I understand when you say that's his mother. Yes, true. Yes, but I'm saying, how can you submit yourself to a white woman? If you can submit yourself to a white woman, your mama wasn't a strong black woman. If you can submit yourself to a white woman.
There are a lot of reasons why black men find themselves submitting, as she calls it. There are a lot of reasons why black men find themselves submitting, as she says it, to white women.
Oh, sure.
In actuality, what we should look, rather than find so much time arguing and being mad and dividing the race who does so, what you should do is look within yourself and find out what attitudes am I giving off.
But wait,
what attitude? what attitudes certain black women. I'm not saying all black women.
I agree with you.
But there's a certain case I want to bring out with my own example, okay? When I was through college, when I did not really have a job and I was preparing for the future, I dealt with a lot of sisters. I had a lot of black girls who were either my friends or girlfriends. And in different ways, you know, they wanted to see certain materialistic things here and now that I didn't have for them.
Right.
And what happened was they were not patient. Right. Not all. Yes. But a certain few. And in my situation, by the time I got out of school and I, you know, got into the next level of professionalism, who was by my side through the whole time is this woman right here.
But she's black.
Even if she was white.
She's forming in the white.
Even if she was white.
Excuse me.
But the bottom line is that
she came here
she
as a white
stayed by my side,
She said
and
she's
now we're
black,
together.
but she came here as a white woman.
Okay. My next guest